Hello folks, this is Fish Daddy Jack. I thought I would put out a video showing how I like to clean multiple aquariums in a setting or in a night. I typically clean a total of 8 aquariums at one time, but today we are just focusing on these 3. Now, what I would like to do is introduce the real stars of the show. Up here in the top aquarium, what I have is Neolamprologus brevis. These are an awesome Lake Tanganyikan cichlid shell dweller. Right here in the middle aquarium, this is Neolamprologus similis. I'm hoping to do a show on these fish soon. And then right below that, these are my multis. So with that, let's clean fish tanks. Okay, first of all, what I would like to do is start out by removing the lids to these 3 aquariums. The reason I do this is so I can get to the back of the tank when I'm scraping off algae, and also because I'm cleaning the filters today as well. So when I take off the lids, what I do is give them inspection. If they look dirty, I clean off the algae. So now what I am going to do is remove my sponge filters. I have a handy pot that I use in order to help me do this. So a lot of people, I didn't realize, consider this to be a controversial subject. Some say that you are not supposed to remove your sponge filters and clean them the same day that you clean your fish tanks. Well, I find this to be false. Just as long as you've got a well-cycled tank, you are not going to do anything in any shape or manner by cleaning your filters the same day. Now with this said, I am going to show you something else that some people consider controversial as well. Okay, here we are. We are at my sink, and I've got my sponge filters, and you got it, folks. What I am going to do is rinse them in tap water. Yes, this is considered a controversial subject. Everyone's like, oh my God, you're going to kill all your beneficial bacteria. Folks, I need to let you know something. Sure, you may kill a little bit of the bacteria that's in the sponge filter, but you're not going to kill it all. And aside from that, your beneficial bacteria is not located in just the filter alone. Everyone thinks that it's located in just the filter, but it's actually located, well, on all the surface areas in your tank. So it's on your plants. If you got plants in the water, it's in the substrate, it's on the glass walls of the tank, it's on every single surface, on the rocks, everything. So just as long as you've got a well-cycled tank, you are not going to do any harm by cleaning your sponge filters the same day, and also by cleaning them under tap water. It's not going to be a big deal. I haven't had a problem with it yet. Okay, so we've made it back at the tank, and what I would like to do is now take a razor blade, like a box cutter razor blade or a utility knife razor blade, and use it to scrape off the algae off the sides of the tank. So I went and got a toothbrush. That way I could clean off some of the algae that's on the rocks. All three of these tanks have had a little bit of an algae issue. I've done my part by dimming the lights, and the algae has cleared up quite a ways compared to what it used to be. But I still have some algae that continues to grow on the rocks, and it gets a little bit out of control. But I find that by using the toothbrush, I can help manage that. Okay, so after I'm through cleaning the algae, what I do is put my sponge filters back together and into the tank. Okay folks, now I've got my Python water changing system ready, and I've got it hooked up, and what I'm going to do is the actual water changes. I like having the Python water changing system. This has really saved my back from a lot of stress that I put on it from carrying around 5-gallon buckets of water. And with this, I don't have to do that all the time. So this makes my aquarium hobby life a lot easier. Now this is supposed to be hooked up to your faucet. However, when it comes to getting the tank that's at the very bottom, it doesn't do such a good job. So I find that what I need to do is actually run it or start my siphon from letting it run outside. And so that's what I do, is I just run the hose outside, suck on the end of it to get the siphon going, and then I come back in. So after I start the siphon process, what I do is I just kind of run the hose in the areas and suck up some of the debris or the algae that I scraped off the sides of the walls and stuff. This stuff that's kind of floating around in the water column. Okay folks, now it's time to put water back in the tank. I've got the end of my Python water changing system ready to attach to the end of the hose. That way I can comfortably put water back into the tank. So I'm just going to attach this and put it on the side of the tank. And then before I put water into the tank, what I like to do is grab the Fritz Complete. You gotta have the dechlorinator to put back into the tank, otherwise you will kill your fish. Believe me folks, I've made that mistake once before. It was a heartbreaking experience. So right now I'm very cautious and I'm careful to do this on all of my aquariums right before I start putting water right back into the aquariums. And then after I get this done, I'm going to go turn on the water. And then after I turn on the water, then I come back and I slowly turn on the valve and monitor the force of the water that is coming out. I definitely don't want the water to be too strong or it'll disrupt the substrate, and it could also damage your plants as well. So with that folks, I'm going to start filling up all 3 of these tanks with water, and every time I switch over to the next tank, I'm going to make sure I add a Fritz dechlorinator. That way I don't harm my fish. Okay folks, with that my water changing has been completed. I hope that you have enjoyed this show on how I clean multiple fish tanks all at once. With that, I hope that you give me a like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for future upcoming shows.